really we were happy to show him off to whoever wanted to see him, as any new parent knows.
So spotlighting these incredible people and
Drama shakes the monarchy once again. Insiders claim Prince William may have been caught off guard by Charles and Harry's secret tea. His reaction? A move that's fueling endless speculation. Could this mark a new chapter in the royal rift? Hit subscribe now so you don't miss what's next. For almost 2 years, the relationship between King Charles III and his younger son, Prince Harry, has seemed distant. Public revelations, interviews, and the couple's move across the Atlantic all added layers of tension that kept royal followers wondering whether a genuine family conversation would ever happen. That quiet hope suddenly felt real on a late summer evening in London. On September 10th, Harry had a full day of engagements supporting charities and causes close to his heart. But as twilight approached, the most significant event was the one not listed on his official schedule. At around 5:20 p.m., cameras briefly caught sight of a vehicle slipping through the tall gates of Clarence House, King Charles's primary London residence. Within moments, reports confirmed what many had barely dared to expect. Father and son were meeting face-to-face for a private tea. Clarence House, with its long history of serving as a personal retreat for senior royals, provided the perfect setting for a low-key conversation. It isn't a public reception room or a ceremonial hall, it's a home. Choosing that space sent a quiet message of intimacy and trust, as if the two men wanted to speak not as monarch and duke, but simply as father and son. The meeting was deliberately shielded from cameras and official statements. There were no photo calls, no palace briefings, yet the symbolism of the moment was unmistakable. For 2 years, the narrative had focused on distance, geographical and emotional. Now, without fanfare, the two were sitting down together. It was a single step, but a meaningful one, suggesting that private conversation might still bridge even long stretches of silence. Prince Harry's sudden appearance in London wasn't only about family. He had arrived earlier that day for a 3-day visit filled with charitable engagements, demonstrating that his commitment to service remained strong, even while living abroad. Throughout the day, Harry attended meetings and events highlighting projects he supports, initiatives ranging from community development to veteran well-being. These efforts show that his focus on making a positive difference hasn't wavered, even as his personal life and public role have shifted dramatically. But it was the unpublicized conclusion to this busy schedule that caught the world's attention. After a day of official duties, he made time for something deeply personal and unplanned, a quiet conversation with his father. That choice underscored a reality that can sometimes be overlooked. Behind the public titles and global headlines, this is still a family seeking understanding of Hoy. By ending his day with that private tea, Harry signaled that while his philanthropic work is essential, reconnecting with his father matters too. It offered a subtle reminder that personal bonds can remain important even when life takes people in very different directions. What exactly was said inside Clarence House remains known only to the two men, and perhaps that privacy is the point. For a family so often discussed in the open, the decision to keep this meeting entirely behind closed doors speaks volumes. Speculation naturally follows. Did they discuss the future of Harry's charitable work in Britain? Did they simply share personal updates after years apart? No one outside that room can answer. But the fact that they met at all hints at a shared desire to rebuild trust and understanding. In the broader story of the monarchy, this quiet encounter matters. It demonstrates a willingness to move beyond headlines and talk directly. It also shows how private gestures can sometimes speak louder than formal statements. Instead of making grand announcements, the two chose a simple setting, teacups on a polished table, and the kind of conversation that can slowly mend distance. The meeting created a ripple of hope. Even without public details, it suggested a future where open communication might replace silence, and where family connections could be strengthened away from the spotlight. While King Charles and Prince Harry were talking in London, another important royal moment was unfolding miles away in Wales. Prince William spent the day fulfilling a long-planned engagement at Cardiff's Principality Stadium, visiting a newly opened mental health hub designed to support local communities. This initiative represents a collaboration between 3 key partners: the Royal Foundation, the charitable organization led by the Prince and Princess of Wales, the Jack Lewis Foundation, created from a personal story of resilience and hope, the Welsh Rugby Union, showing how sports organizations can strengthen community well-being. William's visit highlighted how these groups are working together to provide practical, life-changing resources for mental wellness. He met volunteers, listened to community leaders, and saw firsthand how the new center will offer immediate, hands-on support to people across Wales. Shortly after the news broke of Harry's meeting with the King, the official Instagram account shared a powerful video of William's visit. The accompanying caption carried heartfelt appreciation for everyone driving the project forward, noting how courage and compassion can turn personal challenges into action that benefits entire communities. This message resonated far beyond Wales. It reaffirmed William's steady focus on causes he has championed for years, especially mental health. His words showed admiration for families and volunteers who share their experiences, help others, and build strong networks of support. And by spotlighting the Royal Foundation's role, he underlined how consistent, long-term efforts can transform concern into real impact. The timing of William's statement did not go unnoticed. While he was engaged in scheduled duties and highlighting community projects, news of the private Clarence House meeting was spreading. For royal watchers, the overlap felt striking. Some observers see it as pure coincidence, an update planned well in advance. Others wonder if the carefully timed post subtly emphasized William's priorities, steady service and public commitment, even as family conversations unfolded elsewhere. His absence from the tea also drew attention. Given his itinerary in Wales, there was little chance he could have joined the London meeting. Still, the contrast between the brothers' activities became a talking point. William focused on mental health and community impact, while Harry chose to end his day with a deeply private conversation. The long-running story of the brothers' different paths provides context for these reactions. From the moment Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties, every public move has been examined for clues about the state of their relationship. Against that backdrop, the Cardiff video and its heartfelt message added another layer to the narrative without saying a single word about the family meeting. Taken together, these events illustrate how complex life inside the monarchy can be. For King Charles, the role of father and head of state must coexist. For William and Harry, their responsibilities and chosen lifestyles continue to shape the way they relate to each other and to the institution itself. Prince William, as the heir apparent, remains focused on the long view. His work on mental health, environmental stewardship, and early childhood development shows a consistent vision of service and national connection. The Cardiff engagement fits squarely into that pattern, highlighting his commitment to lasting change through collaboration and community support. Prince Harry, meanwhile, has built a life that blends independence with ongoing global service. From charitable initiatives to veteran support, he continues to work for causes he cares about deeply, even while based outside the United Kingdom. His decision to meet privately with his father underscores that family ties still matter, even when careers and daily lives follow different routes. These distinct paths naturally influence how the brothers interact. Where William's calendar revolves around the duties of a future king, Harry's projects give him flexibility to address issues on his own terms. Both approaches speak to a desire to help others, but they reflect different settings and priorities. For the wider royal family, moments like September 10th highlight the delicate balance between tradition and personal choice. The monarchy must uphold its public role, yet it is also a family with relationships that need time, space, and private conversation to grow. September 10th now stands out as a royal milestone, one that combined quiet personal gestures with carefully planned public service. It wasn't a single headline or a grand ceremony that defined the day, but a series of meaningful choices unfolding almost in parallel. In London, a father and son sat together for tea inside the elegant but private rooms of Clarence House. No cameras were present, no official itinerary confirmed it, and yet the meeting spoke loudly to anyone following their story. For 2 years, the narrative surrounding King Charles and Prince Harry had focused on distance, a physical gap across the Atlantic and an emotional one created by different visions for their lives. The decision to sit down in person turned that narrative, if only slightly, toward reconnection. It suggested that beyond titles and duties, the desire for understanding still runs deep. At the same time, in Cardiff, Prince William's schedule represented the steady heartbeat of royal duty. His visit to the mental health hub at Principality Stadium wasn't just another ribbon-cutting moment. It was the product of years of consistent advocacy, work that has helped bring community leaders, sports organizations, and charitable foundations together to create practical help for people who need it most. By sharing that effort with the world through his carefully crafted message, William reinforced the image of a future monarch who listens, who cares, and who believes that long-term change begins at the local level. Seen together, these events create a fascinating portrait of a family navigating two worlds at once. One world is deeply private, built on relationships that have weathered tension and time apart. The other is unavoidably public, defined by service, tradition, and the expectations of millions who watch every move. September 10th demonstrated that these worlds do not cancel each other out. They coexist and even influence one another in subtle ways. Consider the timing. While no one outside the family knows exactly how long the London meeting had been planned, the fact that it happened on the same day as William's engagement creates a narrative that viewers can't help but connect. It invites questions. Was the schedule pure coincidence, or a deliberate way to show that private reconciliation and public responsibility can happen side by side? Did the brothers speak in advance about their overlapping commitments, or was it a day when each simply followed his own path? The lack of definitive answers only deepens the intrigue. The day also highlighted how each of the king's sons has shaped his own definition of service. Prince William represents continuity. He focuses on steady institutional efforts, mental health programs, environmental projects, early childhood initiatives that reflect the long horizon of someone preparing to lead a nation. His work is methodical and designed to leave structures in place that will outlast a single generation. Prince Harry represents adaptability. He has chosen to work globally, creating projects that cross borders and reach communities far beyond Britain. His initiatives often have a personal dimension, reflecting experiences and passions that he and his wife continue to share from their new base abroad. Even while building this independent life, he made time for an unpublicized family conversation, reminding the world that private ties can remain strong even when public roles diverge. Both approaches matter. In fact, the monarchy's ability to stay relevant in a changing world may depend on having figures who embody both steadiness and innovation. William's carefully planned visit and Harry's spontaneous family meeting show that commitment to service doesn't have a single shape. It can be a long-term national strategy or a quiet moment of listening and understanding. For King Charles, the day carried its own layers of meaning. He is both father and sovereign, responsible for guiding a centuries-old institution while nurturing personal relationships that are as human as anyone's. Hosting Harry privately while his heir was publicly representing the crown demonstrated the dual nature of his role. It suggested that he values private family progress just as much as the smooth running of royal duties. From a broader perspective, September 10th may hint at how the royal family will manage the years ahead. It showed that reconciliation doesn't require dramatic speeches or press conferences. It can begin quietly, with small gestures that allow trust to grow at its own pace. It also showed that duty doesn't pause for personal matters. While one part of the family was focused on a delicate conversation, another part was making sure that public commitments were honored without interruption. This layered reality is something many families can relate to, even if they don't live in palaces. People everywhere know what it's like to balance work and personal relationships, to care for loved ones while keeping professional promises. That shared experience might explain why the events of this single day resonated far beyond royal watchers. They offered a reminder that behind every public role, there is a private life. And behind every headline, there are real conversations that rarely make it into print. Looking ahead, the significance of September 10th may grow over time. If King Charles and Prince Harry continue to build on that quiet tea, future historians might point to this day as the moment when a long period of distance began to close. If William's mental health hub in Cardiff becomes a model for other regions, the same date might also be remembered for a leap forward in community care. Either way, the legacy of the day will not depend on photographs or press releases, but on the lasting impact of choices made away from the spotlight. For those who follow the monarchy closely, this dual narrative is both hopeful and thought-provoking. It suggests that healing and duty can move forward at the same time, each reinforcing the other in unexpected ways. It shows that progress inside a family can be just as important as progress on national projects, and that the two are not mutually exclusive. Thank you for watching and for being part of this conversation. Your insights help us follow these remarkable stories with care and depth. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss the next chapter as it unfolds.